because I was tuning into what I was going to share today, right now. And I was like, ooh, what's coming through right now is like, I mean, I know it's always next level because we keep on going into uncharted territory. But honestly, this octave that's coming through that we're having to attune to right now is really powerful. And I think most people are feeling this. I'd love to know if you are all. Yes, I'm feeling it too. I'm feeling it physically, Julianne. So I've had like a headache all day. Did I say hi to Natalie? Yeah. So I just want to bring up, this is also the reminder that we all handle it differently, right? Because we're all going through different things at different times. And sometimes what's coming through the activation, maybe some of us have already integrated some of that from another activation. Maybe it's brand new and it's bringing up some old stuff that we have to move through. So we're all on our own individual journey. And so we're going to all be reacting differently to these activations. I'm recovering from a 3D migraine. 3D, that's so funny. I said 3D migraine. That too, a 3-day migraine. And yesterday, I practically spent the whole day sleeping. Yep, super sleepy and tired. So, like that wired and tired feeling, where you're just like amplified, but you can't sleep, or you can sleep because your body needs to kind of put your conscious mind to the side so that it can process everything that's coming through. However you're showing up right now, just show up gently for yourself. This is really helpful to ask the body what it needs during times like this, the reminder that the body goes through a lot. I had a terrible sleep as well, Yana. And I know when it's just like, it's activation energy. I felt actual vibrational buzzing in my body last night, particularly in my third eye. My bones are also aching. Super high energy, feels really intense, but more upbeat, exciting energy for me. Amazing. Yeah, I mean, it is exciting. And, but this is the thing that came through, is that when these powerful energies come through, what happens is it activates everything, and so it makes everything louder. And so if at this certain juncture in your journey, it's really important, before you move into your next upgrade, that there's something you have to look at or you have to confront within yourself, within your life, that's going to be blowing up right now. Okay. We have that term life quakes. So if there's something kind of shaken up in your life right now, it's because it's important for you to look at, because potentially it's blocking you from your authentic self. It's blocking you from your highest timeline. And the more we go down the road of ascension, the more we are being invited to come deeper into alignment. And that means sometimes having to walk away from people, from experiences, when we no longer can betray ourselves. Okay. I want to say that again. Walking away from people and experiences when we no longer can betray ourselves. It's a really interesting part of our journey when we get to the part where we can't hold it in our body anymore to betray ourselves. Like, we just can't do it. We also start to lose the kind of some of the coping mechanisms that used to work. Like, maybe that glass of wine, maybe we smoke some weed at night, whatever we're doing to kind of soften the edges stops working. And that's partly because whatever it is that we're needing to soften the edges needs to still be felt. Because the more that we can come in and feel, the more we unfreeze anything that we blocked ourselves from feeling. And that starts to bring more aspects of us into present time, into this now moment, with the reminder that there's no such thing as the past. There's no such thing as the future. The only thing that exists is right now. It's the only thing. And so the more that you can bring you, all aspects of you, to this present moment, the more light you have to work with, the more of a magnet you become. Okay. the more we learn how to get out of our own way. Because when we're in the present moment, the ego isn't driving. We start moving deeper into trust. We start really trusting that we've mapped out this incredible plan for ourselves that our ego cannot understand. I like to remind myself, there's nothing wrong with the ego. We need the ego in this 3D experience. We do. However, most of us are dealing with an ego that does not know that we are divine. Okay, so if we're operating too much in our ego, we're lacking presence in our daily life, we're disassociated, we're escaping, we're numbing, we are busying ourselves, we're in our ego. And our ego is driving the car, and the ego does not know what makes us happy. Okay? So the more we can start to come into this moment, and so this is actually the message for today, as unsexy as it is, the most powerful thing we can do is learn how to just be. To just be. Because when we come into a state of just being, we're not doing, we're not thinking. That actually gives our field the opportunity to catch up with all the processing it's doing. And so think about when you allow yourself to have stretches, bursts, bouts, whatever you want to call them, throughout your day of just being. That is the time, that is the opportunity you are giving yourself to come into coherence. Because the mind, when we are in our thoughts, the mind fragments us because we have to start working within time and space when we're thinking, because we're always thinking about something in the past. We're trying to project something into the future. And so that fragments us. But when we can just learn how to shift into the observer, the broader awareness, then what happens is we come into coherence in our field. Okay. And so that means that you come into divine order within yourself. And as I mentioned before, the more coherence that we have, the more order we have in our field, we start moving into our own unique divine blueprint. So you'll have more access to your gifts. You'll have more access to what brings meaning into your life, because it will start just radiating out. A path will. And because we're training ourselves to just be and to come back to this moment over and over again, because this is all that exists, then we are just paying attention for when the next step is shown. We're not trying to get down to 3. We don't want to know what's happened in 3 steps. We want to know what's the next step. And what happens is when we start operating this way in trust, just kind of clearing out the human fear, the doubt, then our highest plan, the divine plan, can unfold. As I like to say, we get out of our own way. So today we're just going to really bring in the intention of just being, because that is such a gift to ourselves. It's the biggest gift we can give, because we can catch up. We can bring any parts of us that are scattered or fragmented here. And when we are just being, the path is right there. We just want to complicate it. We want to make it more complicated than that, but it's not more complicated than that. The more that we hold on to, we pepper in states of just being, the more in alignment we become. It's as simple as that. And the nice thing is that when we start to come in to just be, if there's something that needs to be addressed, we'll see it, we'll feel it, because we're giving ourselves that opportunity that we weren't giving ourselves when we were too busy, distracting, escaping, numbing, blaming, pointing out. So I'd like to also, before we begin, talk about the attunement that comes through. Okay, so when we work together, if you've worked with me one-on-one or you've worked with me in this group, there's an attunement that comes in. That's part of what I do here as holding space, I channel a frequency. Okay. And so what this frequency does in this group environment is that it actually comes in and it invites each one of us to match it. Okay. And so it's you doing the work. Nobody's healing you. No one's doing anything. It's through your sovereignty and through your willingness to just be present and to get out of our own way that we allow ourselves to start attuning to this frequency that comes through. And this attunement, this frequency, what it holds is the invitation to come into our divine resonance. Okay. Because what we're also learning to do in this awakening, in this shift, is we're learning how to bring our God state, our divine state, into the human experience. But it requires us to remember that we are divine in order to infuse that into the human. Okay. And so what this frequency that comes through, it reminds all of us, and we start to come back into our original divine blueprint. We each, the image they always show me is each one of us, because we're so unique and we each have our own divine blueprint, that becomes the filter for source energy. But it's specifically your filter and it's specifically my filter. So for instance, in my divine blueprint, my energy centers that are really activated are my throat and also my solar plexus. So it's really about bringing that source energy, and it comes through my filters of where I'm holding stronger energy centers. And that becomes my gift, right? To bring source energy through my voice and through also bringing things into balance, supporting people into coming out of duality and into harmony. Okay. And each one of us here, we have energy centers that are stronger than others. And that's uniquely yours because that's part of how that source energy comes through your gifts that you bring to the world. So, and the more present we are, and the more we move into a state of being, the more clear our gifts become to us. It's not searching and hunting and digging. We start to be very aware. The more we can just be, the more we can start moving that source energy through us. And it just started raining. So cleansing. So I'm just going to place my headphones on today. What we're going to do is we're going to ground. We're going to call back our energy by focusing on our breath. Think about when we focus on our breath and we bring our full attention to the breath. That's just starting to bring in all your energy, wherever it may be, because your energy follows your attention always. Okay, so if you get really, really, really focused on your breath and you're not focused on anything else, you're on this single point, brings all of your energy into this now moment. So that's why that is such a powerful, simple exercise that is available to all of us. I'm sure most of you know, working with me, I like the simple stuff because it can be as simple as just bringing your awareness to your breath. It can be as simple as bringing your awareness down to the ground to ground your energy. It can be as simple as just feeling your guides around you instead of getting complicated and I need to know what they sound like. I need to know what they look like. Well, let's first practice feeling them. And the more we start to feel comfortable and we start to trust that, the more it starts to open different ways of expressing and dialoguing with them. But let's first get comfortable in feeling their presence. All right, so I'll put my Can you all hear me? Okay. Why did it just do that? I don't know why it just did that, but I'll take it. No, it didn't do it again. All right, so just starting to bring your awareness to your breath. You're starting to shift your awareness from out there to in here, to into your inner world, towards your breath. And as I mentioned earlier, we're going to bring 100% of our focus, of our attention to our breath. And so as you bring your full focus to your breath, you start to naturally shift into the observer. So your energy is not stuck in your thoughts right now because you're shifting it to your breath and you're observing. You're observing the breath as it comes into your body, just feeling those sensations, noticing, and then you're noticing and observing the breath as it releases from your body. Breathing in and breathing out. And with every cycle of breath, you start to bring more stillness into your field. And in that stillness is more of you, is more of your essence. And so breathing in and breathing out. We're starting to quiet the thinking mind. And this is also a practice for some of us who need to train our mind. So if the mind likes to be on go, 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 you got to train it. You got to feel who you are beyond your thinking mind so that you know what that is like. And the more you know what that is like to be greater than your thoughts, the easier it is to shift your awareness when the mind wants to pull you into a loop, into worrying, into overthinking. And so you're just noticing and you're even just observing my voice right now, but you're not thinking. If you feel yourself get pulled into a thought, just noticing that you are thinking actually shifts you to the higher observer. So that's the practice over and over again. And you can just label it something simple like, oh, I'm thinking. I notice I'm thinking. And then that consciousness gives you choice. That's the beautiful thing about strengthening the observer in you. The more you strengthen the observer, the more you have choice. But it takes practice. And so if you notice, oh, I'm thinking, now you're the observer. And through choice, you can start to shift your awareness back to your breath. And as you breathe right now, I invite you to just notice if you're holding any tension in your body. Remembering that when we are just pure awareness without our ego mind, just pure awareness, our pure awareness holds our most powerful light. And so just scanning your body with your awareness just simply starts to soften and unwind tension from the body. It starts to naturally pull your physical body back into a state of ease. That's what your light does. That's how powerful you are. You can shift states. You can shift energy. But we need conscious awareness first. And so you're just breathing, feeling your body soften wherever you scan. And then let's bring our awareness down towards the ground. So I like to focus on the bottoms of my feet just to give me a place of focus. And I just notice any sensations, buzzing, vibrating. And I just observe and I breathe into the ground or into my feet. And the more focused I become here, the more my energy starts to follow my focus. And so this is a very simple way to ground our energy. So we can just start to feel our energy, our spirit move down. And this is also what we mean when we say we become embodied. When our spirit, our presence, our consciousness is fully here in the body, in the field, in this physical plane. Because we want to be fully here. That's why we're having this human experience, not to float. We want to be anchored in the physical plane because it gives us a sense of connection, of belonging to the grid here. And that starts to bring a sense of support from the earth when we are grounded into the earth, into the grid. And we can just breathe because we're feeling supported, we're feeling held. And just breathing here. Grounding your energy and just breathing into the earth without overthinking, whatever that means for you, to just breathe down into the earth, allowing your breath to be a connection to the earth, moving deeper down, fully anchored and grounded, and just breathing, letting go. The nice thing is when we are really grounded and held by the earth, we are actually conscious of this connection we have with the earth. We have somewhere to empty our energy. Okay, so the more grounded we are, the more we're able to release throughout the day without even having to consciously empty our field. It's just how things work. We just start releasing. And the earth takes whatever we are clearing and transmutes it, alchemizes it, supports us in this way. And so just breathing here as we call in our ring of light. And so we're each calling in our angels, our guides, our ancestors from the light. And we're asking them to surround each one of us in a circle. And this is so powerful for us to do in community, where we are all grounding our energy, coming onto this earth, while also simultaneously activating the awareness of this light team, this family of light that we each have. And so as you call in your family of light, you ask them to surround you, and you get out of your head and you move into a state of being just by breathing, just by being open to feel and sense their presence, and just breathing here. And as we breathe here, we bring through the first attunement. So there's a frequency moving through for each one of us as an invitation. And we just stay in a state of being, not doing, not thinking, and we will just naturally start to raise our vibration right now, to start matching and attuning to this frequency coming through, inviting each one of us to move more into our divine resonance. And just breathe as you feel the light within you expanding, magnifying, as you come deeper into presence, deeper into being. Continuing to feel that ring of light around you. And now I invite each of our family of light to come together and surround all of us. So they're all holding hands, creating a huge circle, surrounding all of us in human form right now. Because remember this, each one of us is here for this transformation, this expansion, this journey back to ourselves, back into our fullest expression, which means infusing the divine into our human experience. That is what is happening on the planet right now. And there are some of us who are awake to that, and some of us who are not quite yet awake to that. But for those of us who are tuning into that, it's really important that we understand that we have this support team with us, because they are here and invested in this awakening as well. And so we are just feeling that support around us as we bring our awareness to our heart space right now. And just simply breathe into your heart. Breathe love into your heart. Breathe attention into your heart. And as you breathe into your heart, I invite you to go another layer deeper in dissolving your human personality, because it's the human personality, the human identity that holds all of our restrictions and limitations. And we go through big activations right now, as we are in the atmosphere. That is what we hit up against when it becomes uncomfortable. We hit up against our growth edges that our personality is holding, our limiting beliefs. And so as you breathe right now, just start to melt away your name, start to melt away time, place, and just feel that expansive energy that you are beyond these limitations of the personality. And just breathe here as we bring through the final attunement. And so this attunement coming through, it's really supporting each one of us to come into harmony, to clear out whatever inner conflict, inner tension we are holding from this recent surge of energy. And so we're just moving to stillness as this frequency comes through for us to attune to. And through your heart space, which is a portal to the quantum field, the unified field of one where everything exists, all potentials, I invite you to bring you to your awareness the future potential about 6 months down the line, where you see yourself right now in your vision, or you sense you. If you cannot see, that's okay as well. Where you sense the version of you that is feeling steady, that is feeling connected to themselves, that has brought in enough inner presence within their being that they have created a beautiful, peaceful sanctuary. And that even when moments pull them off center, more and more, they are able to come back to this place of inner peace. And so we are attuning to that. We are energizing that timeline that exists for each of us as we hold peace within our being right now. And just breathe here. And then let's bring a shield around us. Just place a shield around our auric field just to filter out noise. And we come back to the breath. And let's just pause for a moment as we feel our inner light, as we witness our inner light, as we witness ourselves as divine. And the more we witness this divine light within us, the more we awaken it. And let's take one breath together. And then breathe out. And then we close with these words. And so it is. It is complete. We are done. Thank you, everybody. And just start to come back into the room. Bring your awareness down towards the floor. Thank you, Julianne and Natalie and Sophie and Jess and Sanam and Kathy. Thank you, Sue. Thank you, Oda. I'll upload this. Just remember, because I get the sense that these activations are going to be here for a bit, even moving into June. So it's just about coming back, coming back in, feeling that peace, just moving into being. The more you offer yourself the opportunity to just be, the more you can catch up with all the processing you're doing. Thank you, Stephanie. I agree. Thank you, Yana and Laurel and Marcella. Thank you, Yana and B. Mwah. Have a beautiful day, everybody.